Have you ever wondered what it would be like to play professional sports as a complete novice? Well, meet George Plimpton. This man had no talent other than bravery and a willingness with a smile to try every professional endeavor he could. George Plimpton was a renowned American writer, editor, and amateur participatory journalist, known for his unique approach to journalism. He was born on March 18, 1927, in New York City, and attended Harvard University, where he became the editor of the Harvard Lampoon. Plimpton went on to co-found the Paris Review, a prominent literary magazine, where he conducted famous interviews with literary icons like Ernest Hemingway and Truman Capote. He was also a talented sports writer, often immersing himself in different athletic experiences, such as participating in professional sports events. Plimpton famously played quarterback for the Detroit Lions during a preseason game in 1963, resulting in his book, Paper Lion, which became a bestseller. Throughout his career, he engaged in various other sports, such as pitching against MLB players and boxing with light heavyweight champions. Plimpton's unique approach to journalism involved actively participating in the activities he wrote about, providing a first-hand perspective. His immersive style allowed readers to experience events through his eyes, giving a personal touch to his storytelling. Plimpton's work blurred the line between journalism and literature, often showcasing his humor, wit, and honest insights into the human condition. He had a natural talent for capturing the essence of people and events, creating compelling narratives that resonated with readers. For the purpose of this video, I will focus on Mr. Plimpton's NHL experience. It was 1977 when George attended the Boston Bruins training camp. According to Don Cherry, Plimpton had previously asked the Montreal Canadiens for a tryout but was denied. George was nearly 50 years old when he attended the Bruins training camp on assignment for Sports Illustrated. By this time in George's life, he had become well known for his out-of-element forays into professional sports. He eventually wrote a book, Open Net, detailing his experiences. Plimpton began camp with the Bruins in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. At this time, the Bruins had recently dealt star players Bobby Orr and Phil Esposito. Although Plimpton was a complete novice to ice hockey, he was fortunate enough to have enjoyed the bonding he enjoyed with his Boston teammates. Hall of Fame goaltender Jerry Cheevers said of George, "He was just an unbelievable person. He and I became very close friends. Maybe a year later, my wife and I went to New York to be present while he played in the New York Philharmonic. He played the triangle. It was about an hour long, and I think he hit the triangle twice." With a notepad tucked in his goal pads and guidance from Cheevers and fellow goaltender Jim "Seaweed" Petty, Plimpton gave one of the unique portrayals of life as an NHL goaltender. Cheevers would later recall, "All I really did was just brainwash him that you can't fall. He was a tall and gangly guy. I said, 'George, if you fall down, you're going to stay down.' He did a great job." When Plimpton got the call to don the pads in an exhibition game against the arch-rival Philadelphia Flyers, the writer found himself in the thick of a matchup between two of the toughest teams in the NHL. When the Flyers heard who the opposition goalie was that they would be facing, they agreed that they would allow him to survive his 5 minutes in between the pipes. Flyers sniper Reggie Leach said, "We were told not to run him and go crazy and shoot hard pucks at him. Give him a feel of it, and that was about it." Plimpton let one long shot in during his 5 minutes of fame, but the most challenging moment came when Reggie Leach was awarded a penalty shot. After hearing the pleas of Bruins goaltender Jerry Cheevers not to embarrass Plimpton, Leach fired off a soft shot at the Bruins goalkeeper. Cheevers would later say, "I don't want to embarrass Reggie, but let's put it this way, it wasn't sudden death of the Stanley Cup final." After Plimpton exited the ice and gave interviews away from the ice, the teams became embroiled in a bench-clearing brawl extending to the hallways adjoining their locker rooms. Sadly, Plimpton missed the fisticuffs, but he did try his hand at boxing when he sparred for 3 rounds with boxing greats Archie Moore and Sugar Ray Robinson while on assignment for Sports Illustrated. To George's credit, he had many other ventures into professional sports. In 1958, Plimpton pitched a postseason game against the National League while playing for the American League at Yankee Stadium. He would also try NFL football when, in 1963, Plimpton attended preseason training with the Detroit Lions as a backup quarterback. He ran a few plays in an intra-squad scrimmage. Plimpton would give NFL football a second shot in 1971. this time joining the Baltimore Colts and seeing action in an exhibition game against his previous team, the Detroit Lions. Plimpton's The Bogey Man chronicles his attempt to play professional golf on the PGA Tour during the Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer era of the 1960s. While with Sports Illustrated, Plimpton would also attempt to play top-level bridge and even spent time as a high-wire circus performer. If these endeavors weren't amazing enough, Plimpton also attempted to perform stand-up comedy and several ventures into professional acting. If you could play 5 minutes in a professional sports league or a profession of any kind, please leave it in the comments. What team you would play for and what position in which era?
Hey, hockey fans, if you like this content, please slap that subscribe button. You know George Plimpton would. You can also follow my blog at https://tedtalkshockey.com. And remember to keep your stick on the ice.